right?
Just say all right.
Well, I don't know if y'all can hear me now. Can you hear me?
We can hear
Okay,
you.
cool. Well, I can't hear really much of anything. So,
You gotta
but
just say
anyway,
no to drugs.
I don't do drugs. I don't do that.
Just say no. Anyway, how was your weekend?
That was cool. It was pretty busy. Me and the fellas, we went hit the road. Went down to Monroe, Louisiana. We did a comedy show out there.
Where did that go?
It was pretty cool. The conditions wasn't the best. It definitely wasn't ideal. If I would have knew what I was going into before I went into it, I definitely would have put a little extra on that tab for the talent.
What you mean?
The AC went out. You know what I'm saying? The AC went out, and it wasn't comfortable. Like it really wasn't comfortable. So, man.
Yeah, I was just sitting out there in the hot.
No, I mean, we were cool and everything, but it's just we wasn't cool. So let me take that back. We wasn't cool at all. It was very, very warm, very, very hot. But we were already there. We just, we had to do 20 minutes. We did it, got up out of there.
20 minutes each?
Mm, Give or take. A few guys didn't do 20s. But
So you had to stand up in a hot sauna doing 20 minutes each?
yeah, like I did comedy in the oven. You know what I'm
like
saying?
Y'all did sauna comedy.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
That
It had
might be a
feeling.
thing.
Yeah, it's really not.
I'm just saying,
It's
you know
really
what I'm
not.
saying? Like you cleansing yourself and y'all out there getting your pores together and then boom, a
I
little
know one
laughter.
thing. Louisiana got a lot of big people that's immune to the heat. They had a big dude in there. They had like two guys. Like them guys did not break sweat.
What you mean?
They were
Maybe
big.
they just,
Like,
their
they were
pores
big.
are clogged.
I don't know what it was, but they're immune to it. Like it did not flinch. They did not flinch. It didn't bother them. They didn't shake or rattle in any kind of way. But I guess I've been gone too long because that
You
shit
can't
was.
handle it.
It wasn't just under the condition. Like if I was out just kicking it, and I wasn't driving, 6.5, 7 hours to go do a show, you know. So, but they said that it broke earlier that day. So,
And they ain't like forewarn y'all?
no, when we got there, we saw how cool it was. Because some areas, I guess, it was a little bit cooler, so you could see that it was cool. But then it just, in less than 30 minutes, it was like, ooh wee. So. Yeah, it is what it is. We got that break, got back. It was cool, good camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot when you go on the road with talent. You know what I'm saying? You realize there's going to be a natural ranking system in who's who and what's what. You're going to have people that think that they're better than what they really are, and they may not be. So it becomes very interesting. To go on the road with talent. I'm pretty sure in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? From comedians to maybe people who are choreograph or dancers or people who rap or sing.
I can see that. I can see that. You have just people who be like, I'm supposed to be here because I'm the best.
Or
They get around the crowd and
and people look at themselves in the mirror and they like, I'm that guy or I'm that
as
girl.
you're supposed to though.
But you have to also be honest with yourself to know who you are within being that guy or that girl. You may not be to the degree of how you looking at it. You may not be.
But how do you filter that out in your mind? If you in your mind feel like I am all of that in a bag of chips, who tells you that you're not? Like what?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna
show you that you're not.
how do you assess a situation from one thing to the other? You compare an object to another object.
But most people
Or you
are
compare
raised
one
under,
to another something.
Most people are raised under the grounds now, especially now in this day and age, that I compete with nobody.
You're competing with everyone. Every time you leave a door, you compete. So
Not everybody has.
But that's a
mindset.
fallacy, though. That's not real. That's not real. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like you're always in competition. Now, is it friendly competition? You don't
Not
have to be
everybody
malicious.
has that mindset. Like you see all the time. Like I don't gotta compete with nobody. I'm on my own lane. I live my own life.
That's the boost of confidence.
It's above me. Like
that's what people say to boost their confidence. Like you are competing.
There's some people
You're
who
competing. I mean, if they think that they're not, that's everybody have a right to be wrong, but you are competing.
Who are you to tell them they wrong though?
But you're competing. There's always competition.
Maybe you're competing.
No, it's
and
always
nobody
competition.
else is not.
There's always competition. May it be friendly, may it be something that just iron sharpen iron. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see two animal cubs playing, two pups or whatever playing, two kittens, they're establishing dominance. They're playing, but they're still establishing dominance. So there's competition even in the play.
I don't think everybody agrees with you, and it's fine. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying I'm sure that everybody doesn't agree with you. So my question really is, who determines to tell that person you really not all that when if that's their confidence?
Well, if you don't want to heed to the people that's around you, the smithering and the smeltering, the iron sharpening iron thing, then when you go and provide, like for instance, I'm a barber by day. People come in and solicit. They want to sell their goods. They have products. They have services, well, particularly products. Normally it's food. It may be baked goods, maybe some type of dinner or breakfast on the weekends, things of that nature. If you can't go past a barbershop full of random people, from the guy that's coming in high to the guy that, is a hard 9-to-5 blue-collar working there with his sons, to the older lady that's coming with her grandkids, if you can't satisfy a random group of people, then how are you going to open up a business and be successful? I'm talking about retention is what deems success. You got to have people that come and then they consistently come after that initial time. Not getting a new person every time. You're not going to be successful like that. You see what I'm saying? So even with like me as a comedian or even as a barber, I can get a new head every time. But if I get that same consistent person come every 2 weeks or consistently, however often he or she comes, that's when I'm starting to win. If I got to try to sell myself to every new person and it's a new person every time, it's very, very difficult. I'll probably be in another profession. So the people are going to tell you. But before you get to the people, you have a buffering system before you even get to the people.
And that's supposed to be your community.
That's going to be the people that's around you, close, the people that you're interacting with, engaging with. Those people, the people you bouncing different ideas off of, however. You know what I'm saying? Even with food, people think that they could cook. I tasted the guy's food over the weekend, and
I know some people who think they can cook. I've had a lot of food, and people are like, yo, my food is the best. And I'd be like,
But look at who they're using to govern it. They're using the people that have to eat their food every day. You know what I'm saying? Like they might have a family of 6, a husband, a wife, and maybe 4 kids.
Right.
So those people, if mommy's cooking or if daddy's cooking, those 5 people have to eat it. So you've been eating it your whole life. You've been eating however long you've been existing. So naturally to you, yeah, it's good.
Food,
it's good. But just like when some people come to New Orleans or go to New Orleans, they be like, bruh, I didn't know food until I went there. When you go to certain places where the culture is food, and you're like, bro, I thought I knew food. I thought, my grandmother could cook this or could cook that. But when you go to a certain environment, you're like, nah, they serious about that. It's a culture for them. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I think a lot of times we lie to ourselves. We get comfortable, and we expect people to not tell us the truth. Tell me what I want to hear. Don't tell me the truth.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I just, that's not okay. That's why you got a lot of women that's not built the best, that's wearing stuff, got their gut out. You know what I'm saying? You got a halter top on. Like, why you got your halter top on? With your midsection out. You got two midsections.
Because she loving
You're supposed to have one midsection. If you got a third one, if you got like the back fat, like, oh, let her live. I know. I ain't saying she can't live, but I'm going to have a say on it. Now, if you get it right, you can minimize my say by maintaining your physical self and then dressing appropriately.
Lizzo said she took a DNA test, and that came back that she's 100% that.
I hear her, but Lizzo, to me, not attractive to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared to say that. You know what I mean? I think we're at a time where a comedian can't even say his truth. And comedian was always the guy that sat in front of the audience and spoke and said what people are thinking and afraid or just don't have the position to say.
I agree with that on the sense of not just a comedian. Like, I feel like everyone should be able to say their piece. Obviously, long as you're not just intentionally going after, say, look, I'm coming after you to hurt you, right, to break you down, to tear you down. I'm just telling you, hey, this is what I feel about a situation. You don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but this is what it is. You can take it or leave it. I think we've lost sight of that because everybody's entitled to feel like.
Well, that's what we deal with, and I think a lot of the entitlement is coming from single-parent homes. And most single-parent homes are more women. Because I cut hair.
There's a lot of two-parent homes, too, because it comes from a stage of being spoiled. So two-parent homes can spoil a person.
I agree. I
just as well as
I don't
a
disagree with
single-parent
that. I don't disagree with that. But a lot of these women, they ruining these boys. Like, they ruining them. Even the girls. They making their girls their home girls. And I'm looking at prom pictures. I'm like, what are you doing?
But why does it have to fall on the women?
Because women, I feel like the weight is going to fall on the person who's in a power position. I think women right now are in a power position right now. Man is not in the power position. Black man particularly.
Would it not make more sense to say, okay, if one person is doing it wrong, it may be better to do it together. So then the men need to step up and take care of their children.
Let me say this. Last
Together,
year,
collectively?
No, I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. Last year, there was a young lady came in for her son's first haircut, right? Mm-hmm. 3 men. I've been cutting hair about 10 years, give or take. The other guy been cutting hair about 30. The other guy been cutting hair maybe about 8 years. So between us, you got a nice amount of years and experience in knowing what to do, right? She comes in, she said, I want to get a mohawk. Be like, is this his first haircut? She's like, yeah. She's like, okay, well. And as I'm talking to her, I'm interacting with him, rubbing his head, and I'm kind of combing through it, and he's not for it. Ma'am, he can't get a mohawk. But because she's liberated, and when she look at her account say, I don't have to rationalize nothing with no man. No, but it's not about that. We see that consistently. Well, ma'am, just sit him here, let me interact with him, let me talk to him, let me build this client, even though he's 2, let me build this client-barber relationship, and let me work with him. Women just have this, you can't, that's my son. I've seen women snatch their kids up because you're trying to discipline them.
I see that 2 different ways.
You know what I'm saying? And it becomes
ridiculous.
That
one as a stranger, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what goes on in her household or what her issue with her son is or what her son has been through, even though he's just 2. Mm-hmm. So you to come in as a perfect stranger
and say,
hey, this is what I'm supposed to be. You haven't built a relationship with the mom. Like,
I don't have to build a relationship with the mom.
If it's her child,
I don't have to build a relationship with the mom. I don't have to.
It's her money. It's her child.
Again,
yes, you do.
Again, now you take your money and your child, you go elsewhere. And guess what? She did that. Came back to the shop. And was like, they closed. So then we as barbers know, man, they got some chick keep coming around with this kid. He want mohawks. When State Board hit, all the barbers call each other. You understand what I'm saying? All the cosmetologists call each other. So they be like, bro, they got this chick, man, she probably gonna come check y'all out. I was like, she just left us. You gonna go in every shop until a man, guess who broke and gave her what she wanted? That little stud chick.
But
now, I'm not knocking. You gotta understand something here. As a man, I don't have to understand you. If this kid is not autistic, if this kid doesn't have an asterisk by his or her name, this kid is fully functional and able.
So let me ask you this, because I feel like you have it one side. Like, I don't feel like you're open up to even listen to the other side because you've already decided what it has to be on your own terms, which is not how communication is supposed to happen. The way that communication is supposed to happen is, okay, I have my point, you have your point. Let's talk about it and see how the points can guide together.
Speak for her side and her point.
I personally can't speak for her side, but I'm trying to, because I don't agree or disagree with either side. I'm just trying to get you to think outside of what you've already decided, because you're like, okay, well, I'm a man and this a kid, this a boy. I ain't got to listen to nobody. I'm a barber. I got 59 years of barbering.
That's not my stance on it.
But that's how you're portraying it right now. What I'm trying to communicate with you is, okay, I understand you. I hear you clearly, but listen to me, and you won't even let me speak to try to understand your avenue because you're so adamant on what you've already decided it's supposed to be. So how does anybody get through to that part of it?
Well, you could get through to it by being reasonable, by understanding you have a 2-year-old.
But how do you decide reasonable?
Because I'm in the business. That's
but you're not the only person.
Okay, that's like you going to your mechanic. He's saying what needs to be done. You're like, well, my brother. Well, bring it to your brother who fixed the car then.
But I'm not.
You feel what I'm saying, bro? Like, don't bring it to me
but listen,
and have a conflicting defensive type of, and I'm telling you what needs to be done. And you're like, well, I don't believe. Well, if you don't believe in the person that has to doctor your car, you don't believe in the person that has to maintain this grooming process for your son, then go somewhere else and find somebody you believe in.
It sounds like you're real emotional.
No, it's not emotion, but it happens frequently. And what I'm saying is, when a woman, when a man says, hey, this is what you should do. Women are at a time where they don't want to be told nothing. They look in their account.
Men are too, because right now you're not even listening to me.
But men has always been this way. This ain't nothing new. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing new.
So because it's being retaliated back to you, it's like a back and forth. It seems like
that's not the problem.
It seems like a tension. It's like, okay, well, I'm the man and you the woman. Do your woman thing because you're not supposed to be man like me.
Check this out. Why would I doubt or even question your nurturing process as a man? Why would I even doubt it? If you're a daycare person, I drop my 5-year-old daughter off to you, or you her braider, and you talking to her stern, and that's to get her to discipline herself to sit here and get this service, I'm going to interject.
No.
Listen, my daughter goes to gymnastics, and then people tell us y'all have to leave.
But I also think that you're only thinking of it because you this is how you would do it. Duke would do X, Y, and Z.
Sometimes there's only one good formula to do something.
It's not. I don't agree.
Listen, okay.
That's why the old people say there's more than one way to skin a cat.
We all of age in here. When we went to the barbershops back in the day, whoever was cutting you, you sat down, you got your hair cut.
That's 1957.
Listen, whoa. It don't matter about the time. Nobody wasn't coming and feeding you Ritz crackers while you was in the chair. Nobody was coming and babying you. See, y'all got accustomed to that, and that is not working. That is not working. I can't expect him. He has to be little big boy right now. He has to just sit down and discipline himself for 10 to 12 minutes. Secondly, let him get a haircut he can grow into that mohawk. This is his first cut. Then you don't even comb his hair. He's not even ready for this process. So you didn't even do your part as a parent to prepare him for what I'm supposed to do.
So that then opens up a different.
But if I charge you $75 because you keep moving around, you don't want to pay that because now I'm too high.
But that brings up a different conversation.
What's the different conversation?
That brings up, if she didn't do her part on combing the hair and making it more manageable, because there is a process, whether it's dad or mother, whoever is taking care of the child, because dads take care of kids too. There's a process between that infant stage up until their first hairstyle or haircut where you got to do small stuff. You know, you got to wash the hair, touch the hair, they got the little baby combs, put the little baby combs through it. So that's a different process of, she probably thought, okay, she didn't probably even think about the fact that, I've never.
Oh, so I'm supposed to take the hit because you didn't think and do your part.
No, that's not what I'm saying, but thank you for adding over.
Well, you said she probably didn't, so let's just go with the probably didn't.
I'm not finished my conversation. Go ahead. Let me just get my words out before you attack them. But what I'm saying is, regardless of you saying she probably didn't, comb the hair or do whatever, and he's not ready for that process, why, my main issue with the whole situation is, why can't you address it a different way? Or why does it have to be so aggressive? Like,
it wasn't aggressive. I'm saying it now, but in the heat of it, in the moment, I told her, I don't think that this is the haircut he should get. We all told her we don't think that that's the haircut that he should get. Okay, so when she said, hey, you know what, this is what I want him to have, then what's the comeback? And we're like, okay, well, let's try it. So I wet the hair, because the hair, when it's wet, it breaks down. Mm-hmm. The molecules break down. It has it's a form of a mild relaxer. So I wet the hair. He's losing his mind off wetting the hair. I know he's not ready for these clippers to come on. Blowing in his ear. He's not ready. I can see it because I've been doing it long enough. I could tell. I just cut a kid that didn't even flinch. And it was his second haircut. I swear to God, he probably had 100 haircuts. He didn't even move. So if your kid has a certain character, you can't force him into something he's not fit for that. I mean, that's like making a person who's not a natural runner go out there and just run. So all in all, then I see the scenario as, it's not necessarily a woman and or a man thing. It's a parent thing, which has no gender. It's a parent thing of not. No, it's Linda, let me get my words out, Linda. It's a woman today's thing. I think it's a matter of a parent thing, because I've gone to barbershops and I'm a whole female, have a whole vagina, that I know where my child needs to sit, but I discipline my child and let them know that you need to sit, this is what we're about to do. So she's a different parent. I'm sure there's a man, I've seen plenty of men. Matter of fact, I meet lots of men who baby their own children as well. Coddling, yes. So it's a parent issue where she probably didn't assess the situation of, okay, this is my baby, I want my baby, and a lot of people have that issue of like, my child, my rules, my issue. They don't necessarily consider the other person in the sense of, okay, like, yes, it's your child, but there's other people, and the whole village has to take care of, whether it's your, like you said, your teacher, your barber, your doctor, your whomever. A lot of people have that overly protection of their children. And I don't think you understood her protection of her children, because you were so adamant about explaining to her why she didn't. You don't think so? Why she was really adamant about having this haircut. You really don't think I'm just overlooking? I don't know. The way that you're having the conversation now, I can only assume, just like I'm assuming with her, because I don't know. That's not the case. But if we tell you, hey, this is what you should. And we're professionals. It's like me coming to drop my daughter off I'm looking at the same situation. But see, I'm like that with what did she say? I can assess the person who's disciplining and be like, I think you really live it. It was none of that. Just some people, some women particularly. Maybe that mother wasn't ready for it, but I don't want to make it a gender woman thing. I just say maybe that particular person wasn't ready for what you were. It may not be the gender thing. I just feel like in this generation, that's how the women are. Women want to be friends with their kids rather than to challenge their kids to discipline them. Okay, I'll accept that. Because when grandma come in there, it'd be a different story. It was one time I'm cutting 3 boys, grandma in there, mom's coming there, And grandma told the oldest boy to give his phone to the little one because he kept asking for it. Let him use it for a little bit. He pouting, so mom's coming in. What's wrong? She about to go back and forth with her mom, and her mom was like, girl, you don't get out my face.
Well, then you can make it a generational thing. You can't
see
make
what
it a
I'm saying?
woman thing.
Well, I mean, I see a lot of single women that come in and do it, but I can't lie, a lot of men are doing it as well. But I think that's because a lot of women are running the household because they liberated and they can talk
We
some shit.
gonna move on because I feel like you liking a woman beat a moment, a little woman hater club right now.
Nah,
We
that's
gonna play
not-
Toast
You gotta call
by
it what it
Michael
is.
Starr. Cause you a
What up,
He-Man
Michael
woman
Starr?
hater club.
Georgia Blackwood, thank you, love. We lit!
It's God's beat, baby.
Ooh, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the mother man. Well, what can I say? What can make me just feel this way? It's my girl, yeah. It's my girl, yeah. What can you say? What can make me just feel this way? It's my girl, yeah. It's my girl, yeah. Got so much honey, yeah. The bees every me, I got a sweet song, yeah. The birds in the trees, where we fly from side to side. If you feeling good tonight, see we party into the morning call, till the daylight. Girl, I got a question for you. Can you just be my girl? Yeah, 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 yeah. Under there, yeah. Girl, I got a question for you. Can you just be my girl? Yeah, 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 yeah. Under there, yeah.
If you're feeling good tonight, if you're feeling good tonight, let's a dance move tonight. Let's a dance move tonight. We just like side to side. If you're feeling good tonight, if you're feeling good tonight, if you're feeling good tonight.
Myself.
Hey,
And
hey,
we're back.
And we
Shout
back.
out to Michael
We're-
Starr. That's lit right there.
Shout out to Michael Starr. If y'all think it was lit, show some fires if y'all watching live. Or hit us up. Hit us up in the DM or something, or under the post or
Yeah,
somewhere.
let us know what
it's
y'all
fire.
let us know what y'all think about this little quick subject matter because that is a thing, you know.
We not unless you are a barber. Don't call up in here.
Nah,
asking
you
about
could
this
be
stuff.
you could be anything in customer service dealing with these kids. You know what I mean? You could be in retail at a grocery store or maybe a kiosk or something. These kids are crazy, but they're only a byproduct of what their parents lacking to do. It's not their fault solely until they become like 18 and 21. Then it's on them.
I guess. But we're gonna move on with the show because
Yeah,
we
we
got
can.
a guest coming on. We're gonna hit it with the Tony's hot tea topics.
All right, what you got?
Something hot to talk about, whatever it is, you know that we gon' put it out. Here on Tony's Hot Tea Topics, Tony's Hot Tea Topics tonight.
I know y'all heard Duke throwing his fit. He do that sometimes. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, back on the Tony's Hot Tea Topics. What's up, lovers and losers? It is the greatest part of the show. But first, we're going to hit you with letting y'all know that Wendy Williams, you know, she is like being the topic of everything right now. But she finally comes out and she says that she knew about her husband's double life for years.
Word.
She said she knew about it for years. And she said she chose to stay. And she said the reason she chose to stay is because she wanted to make sure that she was emotionally ready to detach from him and ready to detach from him business-wise because, you know, he was working on her show. So she was like, look, I get it. I knew what he was doing, but I had to make sure I was ready and my accounts and my ducks and everything was in a row before I moved on to my next phase, which I'm starting to see that's like a trend thing right now. Like even with Monica, like, you know, she's getting divorced from Shannon from whatever he had, got caught doing, and they're still living together for the
So it was a
sake of the
cheat thing with
kids.
him, with Shannon.
Yeah, that's what it's slowly coming out to be.
Okay.
So, yeah, a lot of people are, a lot of women or a lot of celebrities. I don't know if women in general. 'Cause
She was married to Rocco, and he cheated too, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember who she was married to. But
Yeah. it was
moving,
Rocco.
Wendy Williams also, she had she did an interview, and she also admitted that she had a little something, little rendezvous real quick with Meek Mills at her son's black mitzvah.
Meek hit that.
I don't know if he hit it. I don't know what it. She didn't go into detail on what
Meek,
went
come
down,
on, man,
but she
come
said,
on,
hey, it was just a little fun, right quick. He's not interested in her. She's not interested in
Okay.
him.
Pretty much, she gave him some head in the clothes closet. I get you.
And so, hey, it is what it is. Wendy, live your best, live
I
your
wouldn't hit
best
Wendy,
life.
bro. I wouldn't hit
Live
Wendy.
your best
I'm sorry.
life,
I
Wendy.
wouldn't. Man, fuck them titties, man. I wouldn't hit Wendy, man. Wendy built wrong, cuz. Wendy bring that thing to
Wendy-
flaccid, man. That thing don't even stand up. That thing go flaccid, man.
Well, Wendy ain't having no problem.
on,
She
man.
out here having her own hot girl summer.
Nah.
Go, Wendy, do you?
Wendy does not make the capillaries open up at maximum. No.
Oh my goodness! But I got one for you, Duke. So LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, calls out the NCAA because they got a new rule stating that player agents need a 4-year degree, and of course, as you know, he does not. He met LeBron a little while back, and he brought him on. Oh, I feel like you got something to say about this.
Well, I mean, they just trying, because he's making so many moves. They trying
He's
to
making
figure
so
out.
many moves.
They're
He
trying to
has
figure out
so
a
many
way
different
to
people, and
co-
they're trying
you
to
know.
cut him off because they're the foreign players that may come over. They're trying to make sure that he doesn't get a hold of them and really start making money.
Well,
from
not
them as
really.
well.
What it is you don't want to take somebody who has charisma and somebody who can sell, and then that just be the only thing you need. They need to put that. Well, you need a degree, just like corporate. Everybody don't need a degree to do the job, but they got to put that there to try to weed out anybody coming in and just taking the job. Like like back in the day, just show up,
I feel
clock
like
in.
I
and do
feel
the
like
job.
if you can do the job and you can do it well, you should have the job.
He
But I
had-
feel like what you got to say on it? I feel like you got something to say. Say it loud.
They changed the rule today, though.
They change it back
Yeah.
today.
Because LeBron that was making a big deal about it.
Well, shout
Well,
out.
LeBron got that type of pull.
Right, I'm trying to be like LeBron for them to change rules back, for them to put a rule down to try to stifle somebody, and LeBron be like,
Now LeBron's
Pause.
LeBron's a powerful man. You know what I'm
shout
saying?
out. Well, thanks to our engineer. He has updated me on that because last I heard it was in effect and now it's not. So if you think you got the skill and you want to be a player agent, go live your best life, but don't mess nobody's career up. Also, Nicki Minaj, she has her radio show, Queen Radio. She announced on her show that she will be married in 80 days to Kenneth Petty.
To who?
Kenneth Petty, the guy she been kind of running around dating, posting pictures all about with her.
Oh, the guy that I think I saw a picture. She was sitting on his lap or something like that.
Right. She'll be married 80 days.
Whatever.
Apparently, they have a 90-day marriage license, and so she's getting married in 80 days. Don't ask me what that's about. Y'all gonna have to talk to Nikki about that one because your girl don't know what
Man,
Nikki
a
is
lot
doing.
of people. A lot of people today, man. They do a lot of shock value shit. So that's major to them. They like to just get your attention for whatever way they can. I don't know. How long all right, so they get married in 80 days. How long you think they will be married for? How long would that last?
I don't know.
6 months?
I don't know what their relationship is like.
6
You know,
months.
I mean, all I know is the pictures that
Well,
are
I know
posted.
one thing.
They could really be a real, genuine couple.
I'm starting to see bad women either get with drug dealers or lame niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like Safari.
Bad in the
Like,
sense
you know,
of
like
like
the baddies.
top goodies.
The
Okay.
baddies. They getting with drug dealers, which is understandable. Because they got,
Like
they
Angela
got-
Simmons, like her dude.
Well, I mean,
before
they
he
got money.
shot.
So when you
Before
have
he got
money,
shot.
yeah, when you got money, you could just, you do
She
a
was
lot.
a virgin for like ever, and then the one time she actually meets somebody, he just happens to go to jail for drugs and everything like that.
Right.
Then he gets
Because it's a
shot in front of his
fantasy.
house,
Every-
and she has a son and everything.
Every it seems like every woman wants that bad guy. Like, you know what I mean? That's why.
I mean,
women say
Mary
stuff.
J. Blige said it a long time ago. Good girls like bad dudes.
Yeah.
Good guys ain't no fun, and bad dudes ain't no good. Whatever the lyrics are.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it is.
That's why you gotta have a nice blend. You gotta be a good guy,
And
but
then
you gotta be
even
an
my-
asshole.
Even Mulatto has a song I think out that's talking about how good girls like bad dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Well, I learned
it's-
that. I
it's
learned
been a
that.
test
I
of
learned that
time.
when I was 15. You know what I'm saying? When my first love bust a move on me, I realized, whoa, you know what? Being a nice guy does not pay the bills when it comes down to
So I
relationship.
feel like you should be like a good guy with a little edge, and that's the perfect mix. Like nobody wants a good boring dude because people want to live life. They want to have somebody they can actually enjoy life with, and unfortunately, the enjoyable moments happen with bad guys.
The enjoyable moments are normally ratchet fuckery. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
When you go on cruises, you're going to act like you're a teenage college student. You know
Turn
what I'm
up.
saying? So if you got a guy that's a stickler, he's too hard up, and he's like, hey, babe, what are you doing? Come on. I'm just
Nobody
pop
wants
your
that.
ass out here. We in Cozumel. And you be
No.
like, babe, we in Cozumel. That's the reason why I popped my ass. Okay?
Right. It's
So,
a turn up moment.
you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody here. We don't know nobody on this island.
You see what I'm saying?
We don't know nobody here.
You might want to do some freaky stuff on the Lido deck at like 4 in the morning. He like, babe, come on, let's go to the room. You're like, man, I don't go to the room. So, now, if that's the guy, you can be like, he's a good dude. He's great to my son and my daughter and my family. He's a provider. But deep down, you're going to be looking at the other dude in the gym like, oh, I know he'll choke me. And he ain't going to look me square in my eye. He going to look me at his peripheral. He going to pull up playing music real loud. Oh, that's not what I need. He's not the good role model for my son. But guess what? You want him. You want him. You want
For
that
a
guy.
little tiny time. You don't want it for the whole time.
No,
You just want it for a tiny time.
that's why you got to find a great balance. Like a woman has to be a classy woman, but at some point she got to put her knees to her ears.
Oh my God.
Like her knees has to touch her ears or
But
her
I'm
cheek.
saying the same way you want a woman like that, women want guys like that. We want
Of
a guy
course.
that's really responsible, can pay bills,
Of
ain't gonna
course.
be out there cheating.
Absolutely.
But you know what I'm saying? You can, you want a dude in the street, or you want a good dude in the street and a freak in the bed. Like we want the same thing y'all want. We
Right.
just gotta find a way that those type of people can connect because right now it ain't working.
I was telling someone earlier. She was like, Duke, so when you go settle down, I was like, I don't even like the phrase settle down. Like that phrase.
I just want to
sounds
turn up with my
I
my
just want
boo.
to build. I want to build up. I just think that settle down came from a time when
That sound like retirement.
when you turned 30, you were old. Like back in the days, people turned 30. Oh, I'm going on settle down and pack it in. You know what I'm saying? Like that was that time.
Lock it
like
down.
50 now ain't 50 what it was in the 70s. You see what I'm saying? Or even the 80s or even 90s. People are not packing it in. Grandparents ain't staying home waiting for you to drop the kids off at 6 Friday.
My mama don't babysit.
You see what I'm saying? So my mom's, she says she
She
want to
don't.
babysit, but I don't know how true that is. But I
She
don't know.
does not babysit.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
if by
So-
chance you happen to catch her on a good day and she'll watch, she be like, be here to pick up your child at
Right.
1 o'clock.
And
Now,
they
1:01.
charge you. And grandparents nowadays are charging you to
Well, she
watch
don't do all
their
that. That's a bit much.
offspring's offspring.
That's a bit much. My mama don't charge
No,
you,
so-
but she ain't.
yeah.
She wants you to be
So,
back at a
no,
certain
like to the
time.
point they be like, so what? You ain't bring any snacks? You be like, man, I know you got food. They ain't gonna eat up all my food. Like that used to be like what grandparents would love to do for you.
to feed you.
I'm gonna feed you. Come on, baby. Come on over here. Grandma got you. Now you gotta bring these snacks.
Well, I think
tablet.
then my mother
Old
is,
people don't
is,
have
is
Wi-Fi.
half and half because she got Wi-Fi and she gonna feed them and she gonna take care of them good and they gonna be happy. But be back to pick them up at 1 o'clock, not 1 o'clock and 30 seconds.
Yeah, they be
1
serious.
o'clock.
They really treat you like the daycare people. If you come 1 minute, it's a $5 every 1 minute. You pull up, you owe your mama. Can I cash up? Yeah. I take Zelle, I take Venmo.
Oh my goodness. Also, last on the docket, Centoya Brown. She was released. I think I said her name right. August 7th, after 15 years of being in jail. But also, while she was in jail, in case y'all didn't know, she married Christian hip hop artist Jay Long while she was in jail. So not only is she coming home and getting out of jail after being put in there for I feel was wrong reasons, she coming home to a boo. So live your best life. I feel like we are winning out here.
I said it earlier. Women are in a power seat right now.
We winning.
Women in the power seat right now.
But also Liddy in the City, we got I don't know if y'all know about it, but if y'all know TT K-Sway, the comedian or whatever, I guess the social media comedian, I don't know. Either way, she is opening up Crab Queens ATL August 17th. So if y'all like crabs and y'all want to eat some food and y'all want to see how it is, it's probably gonna be packed just like Slutty Vegan is and it was.
I'm gonna let that hype, die down. I'm not about to sit for no 2 hours for Slutty Vegan.
Well, if you I haven't been a Slutty Vegan
But if
yet.
you go, you can get me something.
I haven't been a Slutty Vegan yet. I'm not ready for that. But
I
I
even
am
pay
going to
for it.
try to go to Crab Queens because crabs is my obsession. So I'm going to try to go hit that up. Duke, you have your open mic tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
View
That's at View Lounge.
Stone Mountain, 8 p.m. Make sure y'all be there. Check it out. We need to fill up the place. We want it packed. We want like a waiting list, long line.
Yeah, y'all pull up, man. We got some hot comedians. You know what I'm saying? And some in town, out of town comedians. So just definitely pull up. Shout out to Tony, the owner. Shout out to TT, the manager of View Lounge. And the wait staff is awesome. You know, they take care of you. They got some specials: $5 daiquiris, $25 unlimited crab legs, and they also have what was it? Daiquiris, crab legs, and something else. But they got some specials. So you know, definitely come check us out tomorrow, Tuesday night, 8 p.m.
All right. Thank you. As y'all see, we working. We doing a little bit around here. And we finna be worldwide, which is why we finna play the next song, Mako Girls.
Oh, the Mako Girls. What's up?
Wide.
We lit!
I love how they syndicate music worldwide. I'll be honest, no lie, like beast to a honey if you just let me fly. If you don't let me fly, I'm just gonna keep coming back till you realize. Hello, I'm a beast in the skies. I'm young and I'm able. I'm fresh and so stable. My cards on the table, that world rush by. Look, London, what's up with you? It's been a while since I've been up in the cup with you. I ain't done my time, if I see my style, and there ain't no rubbish about Barbados. I'm loving you. No, it's so hard. I'm just trying to keep up with ya. Jamaica with that guan, turn up the team. You know it's big ups to ya. Gonna get your block poppin', your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. We wild wildin'. I run it like a beast, but a pretty bop. Ain't a slow release, I'ma get it got. Houston to Detroit, they headed to the Bay. Maybe to the Harlem, I don't think I'm not coming to your city block. Bump loud, don't ever see me stop. Bass pound, shake ground from that drizzy drop. I like that sound from that busy box. Just know I'm round when that beat knock, yeah. And if you ain't feeling the young, you know frontin', be stuntin', just say you nah. It's hard to be hated when your status change, man, we spreading like vapor clouds. I bop on the daily, no blessings, I wait me, no time to be faking, nah. So bop with me, baby, I promise, I slay it, I promise, let me say it now. Poppin', your city rockin', if you're rollin' with me, then you know what I mean, take me away. I can stay all day, we wild wildin' this thing, yeah, we wild wildin' this thing, we wild wildin' this thing. My lyrics take a taser, middle shot, my chop as a razor, middle chop, putting heavy labor, never stop. On my best behavior, creep a prop, make the city box. DC, the Mississippi rock, St. Louis, get you, take it to the top, Long Beach to Queens. Y'all what I mean? Me and my team will make the city pop, get it in the city hot. Ain't got no time for beef, petty stop. Be on my grind like it's about to drop. Though all the time, I know it's really not. It's about these rhymes that I love a lot. It loves a crime, gonna color cops. I'm in my prime, so be on the watch. Be in your town, be the giant block. Gonna get like boom. Poppin', your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. We wanna get your thing poppin', your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. We wild wildin' this thing, yeah. We wild wildin' this thing. We wild wildin' this thing, yeah. We wild wildin' this thing. We wild wildin' this thing.
Worldwide Mako Girls. Shout out to them. That's lit right there. That's lit right there. I'm rocking with that. How you feel about that, Tony?
I like that. You know, always they have like the cutest little sound. Even though
yeah.
I'm sure they're not little kids, but you know they still young and
I like this style though.
they really out here working and doing their thing and doing concerts, and I like it. They do.
Shout out to the Mako Girls. Woo woo.
All right, y'all. So I got something for y'all today in the lit conversation category. So there's been a lot of chitter and chatter about the new Facebook group that's out called Sis, Is This Your Man? And there's also a Bro, Is This Your Girl? It's gone viral. It's got over about 30K members. Apparently it started out in your hometown, Duke. It was a young lady who was just, you know what I'm saying, trying to catch cheaters off in the Nolans parts of town. And she said she really didn't anticipate it for to grow this big, but The Shade Room posted about it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, when the Shade Room posts about it, everybody go in it. And so it's really where people are posting up pictures of men and women they are dating. And everybody else is supposed to basically look and see, is this your man or your woman? To try to catch cheaters and thotty boppers that are out here in the streets. So the question is, what would you do if you saw your man or woman on there? And would you participate in the posting? Like, would you post the person that you dating?
I'm in a bunch of groups on Facebook, and I don't post. I'm a lurker. I sit back and watch the foolishness. I know exactly what angle to go and attack a girl on. You know, I find out, and I just really use it just for marketing too. Like, I see that they like to hang out and party, so most likely they would like to come see a comedy show. You know, some people come and, you know, give me services at the shop and come bring their kids or themselves get services or whatnot. So, you know, I'm not into, you know, as much as I'm out and I'm doing different stuff and I'm, you know, but.
You know, if you market in those type of groups, they tag you as spam.
Probably.
If you don't utilize it for what it's supposed to be utilized.
I mean,
they have their little rules.
I might I comment, but I really don't go crazy like that. Like, if they ask for an introduction, I might drop an introduction of myself, stuff like that, but I fall back off it. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't. I don't know. I just think that people care too much about what somebody else is doing, and it really don't have nothing to do with you. Like, everybody just so focused on wanting to put their opinion on what somebody else has going on. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't like cheaters anyway. Go eat Greco. I was happy when that dude got stabbed on a boat. You know what I mean? Like,
you was happy when Joey
absolutely,
got...
absolutely. Cause, man, like, listen,
when he pull up, y'all sitting there having a good romantic dinner, and he be like,
right. Why are you doing her like this?
Why would you do this?
So, Duke, why are you doing her like, man?
So you really didn't know he had a wife?
Joey,
I mean,
I'm about to whoop your ass, cuz.
And we got video footage of you. We were following you for 3 weeks.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't like cheaters in Joey Greco, right? Because every time he allows the woman to wail on the man, and the security guys don't try to jump and stop her fast, but when the man nut up, they be on his ass, and they do it every time. The old shop I used to work at, the older women used to like watching. So
cheaters. Is it the fact that you want them to stop the woman, or you want them to allow the man?
No, I don't need a man to whoop on a woman, but don't let a woman do that to a man. You see what I'm saying? I've just seen them let a woman go further than she should have. And, you know, they do that. It's catered to a woman most times. Now, I can't front. They had some dudes catching some women out there. They had one time with a dude. This one was off the chain, man. She was like a young Hispanic chick, or maybe white or something, I'm not sure. But the guy was an old Hispanic guy. And, you know, classic Hispanic, go to work, you know, wear the long dress shoes with the points or whatnot. You know, them El Chapos. You know, but he came home and she was giving fellatio. She was giving some top to somebody in the Camaro he bought her. He said, you know what? You can have that. Give me my garage key. He took the garage key. He keep the car.
The garage key.
Yeah, but she was like, she's like, oh, what about gas? She's like, and I'm just like, this is crazy. That they had another lady. She was in a hotel. And she was in a bedroom with ramen noodles in the tub. You know, the hotels, they got the little jacuzzi in the living room area, in the front area. And I'm just
they
like...
had enough ramen noodles in there to fill up the tub?
It was bags of ramen noodles all over. And she got it in the tub. They just dumping the ramen noodles in the tub, and she just in there.
So maybe she was out there, she just wanted to be a little kinky.
Well, it probably was some
and
fetish
she had a boring dude that didn't want to do a little. She just wanted to get it out of the system. She wanted
Come on, man. You're going to get yeast infections like that doing all that.
She wanted to sit in some ramen noodles.
You know what I'm saying?
She wanted to be saucy.
You can't sit on ramen noodle juice. Listen, they had another one. She was getting buffed up by, like, circus people. Like, it was like a couple midgets in there. Guys had clown outfits on. They in there butt naked with the clown nose.
You watching the fetish.
Like, I'm like, this is crazy. But I didn't watch it. They like to put it on. All the old people want to watch is Cheaters, all the court shows, and news.
And Maury.
And Maury. And Jerry Springer when he plays. And I really don't. That's why I know I couldn't really mess with a woman like over 40. Her house is too hot. the heater is always on. You know what I'm saying? And the shit that they want to entertain themselves with is ridiculous.
And the story.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
I didn't even know the story still came on.
It still come on.
I was so shocked that the stories still come on.
Well,
they still
all
thriving.
the hip-hop stuff is like the new version of stories now. You know what I'm saying? That's the new drama. You know, my grandma used to watch stories. She used to tape them. You know, she used to tape them with the VCR and stuff like that. She had to catch the whole commercials and everything, but she'd tape them. And she had years of stories.
My grandma used to make us sit. Like, she'd be like, I'm going to the store. Sit there and let me know what happened now. And then you really have to say like, okay, grandma. Then when she get back, you gotta like really have a rundown, or she'll get mad at you. You gotta be like, okay, well, Susan over here cheating with David's husband, and then Ron came in, he lost his like. You had to have a rundown, or she would
I
be
guess
so
that's why I'm so
mad at you.
and that's why I embrace manliness as much, because I used to like going hang out with my grandpa and my uncles and stuff. You know what I'm saying? My older male cousins and stuff. Because the women did stuff like my dad, my stepdad's mother, she was story. That was her thing. That's all she watched, story and news. My biological father, his mom's, all she watched was like murder news too. Everybody watched
MASH.
news. MASH. But MASH came on later.
In the
By that
heat of the
point,
night.
MASH came on kind of later. It was Walker, Texas Ranger.
Hey, that show was
It
that show was lit.
I don't like Walker. But tell you why, because the
That
black
show was
dude
lit.
always came in second. I hate the shit. Like, I had internal
In the eye
righteousness.
of a ranger.
You know what I'm saying?
Suspect this stranger.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hated it, right?
But take just a little quick minute. Shout out to Valencia who's listening from Miami. We really appreciate you. Go
Shout
ahead.
out. Thank you for tuning in, Valencia. Okay, shout out to Valencia. Appreciate you.
MIA,
Thank
take
you.
it to the hive.
But then they would like to watch, my grandfather would love to watch like Bonanza and Gunsmoke and Rawhide. And,
Some of those shows was kind of lit though. Like,
no, I'm
they
gonna tell
were-
you why I didn't like those shows, and I didn't know how to express it then. But I had such a pride in being a black person, and I didn't even know it. And nobody ever really tuned me up to think this way. But when I watched it, my internal thing told me, why is it that all the black people are always walking the horses, or
They always a maid.
or always, you know,
They always the help.
Them guys putting the shoes on the horses. They never was in a
They can
position.
say a little joke, but they can't get too out of hand.
Like a man could never stand flat-footed. A black man couldn't stand flat-footed in TV and just stand there. He always had to shuck jive or be the entertainment. And I just felt like that was so corny. It's almost a form of what we seeing now with social media. Like, did you watch I Got the Hookup too? Did you take a look at that? Foolish. Foolishness. Master P went and got everybody with a name on social media. Put him in a movie, and that shit was trash. It wasn't like a classic, like a hood classic, like, okay, you know, it was low budget, but it was funny the whole time.
I mean,
No. Like, it was like a extended video where he just trying to take his merchandise. The opening scene, Funny Mike, which is a comedian guy, and DC Young Fly got the same identical shoes on. The Manzani shoes, whatever this, you know, the shoe brand that he promotes or whatever he has his name on. And we're like, man, come on, that's ridiculous. The lines were corny, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, he didn't even take the time to find good talent to make a good hood movie.
he probably just thought like these are hood people in the hood world.
But you
Let me
still,
just see if I can put it
actors
together.
are actors. Actors can act hood. A hood person don't know how to act. They just,
I
you know what I'm
agree with
saying?
that.
You follow what I'm saying? You just can't be hood. It's a certain way to,
You got to know the
Orchestrate
words. You got to
hood.
move. You got to
you see what I'm saying?
make it a hood that
Like
you
for
want to
instance,
watch.
like for instance, you got homeboy Desi Banks. You know, he out of Atlanta, he doing his thing. What he do what hood niggas do or whatever his little stuff he do now. He know how to act like a hood guy. Why you nigga somebody who can do the acting? He go get Fat Boy SSE. I'm not knocking him, but that dude not funny. I watch his IG. I be like, he's a shock value guy. He's an attention grabber guy, but he's not sincerely funny. But we had a time where people gonna get names. They're gonna put names on stuff, and they're gonna sell it with the name. And I felt like if he'd have dug a little bit deeper, maybe displayed a little bit more patience, and just put some people out there to find good talent. You only got about 5 areas where you talk about comedy exists real. You got Atlanta, Los Angeles, up north. And then up north is shared with a DC scene, a Philly scene. You know, you got the New York, Jersey scene. You got the upstate New York scene. Just like here, you got a North Carolina scene, but it all drives to Atlanta. Alabama drives to Atlanta. Florida drives to Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? Then you have like a Houston, because Texas is so big, they have a scene within themselves or whatnot. Then you got the Los Angeles. You got Vegas and so on and so forth. But you could have easily put
Just in
people
case
them
y'all didn't
areas.
know, that was the comedy breakdown.
Well, I'm just saying, you could have put them people in them areas and found good talent. I know some guys that's fucking funny. Like, these guys are funny. You know what I mean? But because it doesn't translate on the internet, you know, it may not, if it doesn't translate on the internet, it definitely ain't going to translate in asses and seats. But they got people that put asses in seats there. They get up there and they be like, damn, I don't have 15 minutes. That's because everything they do is orchestrated. Like, it's orchestrated to be funny and designated for that moment, recorded. Now you got to go improv, or you got to put something together.
The 60 seconds on Instagram.
And and then you got to get up there and give it to me for 30 minutes. Because people follow you, so they thinking you got a shit ton worth of
So
material
you
to
got
give
30
me.
posts, so you
Because
must got 30
You
minutes.
got to have 30 minutes. And some people don't. Some people sincerely don't have 30 minutes. Like when I first saw Just Hilarious years ago, when she first was hitting the scene, she didn't have it. She had to host. And what hosting is, you talk a little shit, do a little crowd work. And
Right,
all
you
that.
say a little
You
2-3
don't have-
minutes in between people.
And you don't have to do a full set, so you can break it up. You see what I'm
I
saying?
could be a host. I don't think I could be a comedian for a full 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes.
You probably can. You can MC.
But
You
I feel
probably
like
can
I
MC.
could host it, get a little giggle in between while
Yeah.
they walking up. I think I could pull that off.
Yeah, but because there's a standard format, anybody celebrating anything, you know what I'm saying? Positive, negative,
Right. Tell
You know
a little
what I'm
something funny thing that happened to
positive,
you today.
negative, baby test, this, that, the third. Anybody got a birthday? I mean, celebrating birthdays, divorce parties. You just kick your kids out. You got the house back to yourself. You go around naked. There's certain formats.
Longevity with your side chick, your side dude.
Yeah. Anybody in here with their
Side anniversaries.
Shout out to the people that that cheat on their side with their wife. You're doing a good thing. You know what I mean? All type of shit. So you got different formats, but some people just don't have it. Like right now, from last time Ha Davis was at Atlanta Comedy Theater, he does like a improv variety type show where he bring props and stuff like that because his set, like he just can't go up there and give you 35, 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But on the internet, it's fucking hilarious. So, but it just don't translate. Then you got guys that get on stage and do 45 minutes, 35 minutes strong, 20 minutes strong, 15 killing you, but it hasn't translated to the internet. You see what I'm saying? So those are two different beats. I think the internet comedians are more like comedic actors. You see what I'm saying? And like you have Will Ferrell. You have certain guys that's just comedic actors, like David Allen Greer. But then you got somebody like a Tommy Davidson. He's actually a stand-up comedian, so he can translate in both, worlds and make it work. Seinfeld is just a stand-up comedian. He did a little outside of his show, but his show was super. His show, he didn't really have to act. He just had to be Seinfeld. So he was just him. So he didn't really get outside of himself for that show. Kevin Hart is a stand-up comedian, actor, comedic actor. You see what I'm saying? He can play both sides. He can get up there and do a whole full set.
A whole hour.
You know what I mean? Then of course, when you get to that level, you get writers. You get people who fancy your work, fancy your track record, and they're like, yo, bro, I just want to make you kill it. Just bring me along the way. Hopefully, I can get a little shine along the way. And guys got writers. Guys travel while he's doing whatever on his downtime.
Because he's definitely too busy to literally be sitting down
Yeah.
writing, hey, this is what happened with my day, let me tell you.
But that's why a lot of people start to like, he kind of fell off. Because you got somebody like Mike Epps. I just saw Mike Epps' special. Actually, it was funny. But to me, listening to it, Mike Epps don't have that storyline. Like Kevin Hart could give you story. He could build that story up, and you following.
You be into it. You be
and
trying to.
And he could paint the picture as he navigating through his words with the stories. So he's painting that picture for you. Mike Epps don't seem like he has that type of craftsmanship in comedy to give you stories. He got a bunch of jokes though, because that's the type of guy he is. He's not disconnected. He goes in the hood. You see what I'm saying? When you got those guys are gonna have jokes for the rest of their life. Kevin Hart is gonna have to probably get writers because he becomes disconnected. I'm not saying he can't write good jokes. I'm sorry what I'm saying. But when it's something about a man when you got to go in the barbershop and you have to answer for what you did on TV. You see what I'm saying? Like if Kevin Hart still stayed in Philly and still kept his grounded and still was humble on that level and the round-the-way guy, still traveling, still doing what he's doing, but now he lives in probably Calabasas or some shit, or live in Cali. His driveway probably long as Peachtree. You see what I'm saying? So his barber is ordered. So
come to his house.
So when you kiss the rock in Central Intelligence, ain't nobody gonna ask you about that. Yeah, you got a little peck on the lips, but when I saw that, I was like, that didn't even make the movie better. That didn't even make the scene better. I could see it, like, okay, I can see why you did it. It did put a little extra edge on it. It made it a little funnier or whatever. It didn't do anything. Like if you would have took it out, you wouldn't have been like, oh, I missed. I think if you'd have kissed him, that would have made it better. You wouldn't even said that. But if he goes into a barbershop in Philly, they're gonna be like, damn, okay, for real.
Right. We thought we had one.
That goes to what I said earlier. Who governs you? The people gonna govern you. But when you in your world, now Kevin has the right to be in his world because he positioned himself to think that way. But if Kevin's on this level, come on, man, how you think you? That's why he didn't do it in his early stages. That goes to what I was saying earlier. The people are gonna govern you and tell you if you that shit or you're not. And because he is in a position with the money, he don't care if they tell him that he the shit or not. He's already winning. But on the way up, he could have never done that. That's why they don't do it on the way up. They wait till they get to a safe financial place to do that type of stuff that people are not agreeing with. You see what I'm saying? Like his
They also
content
get
has
a little
got
more
weaker.
pocket change.
Right.
I'm sure if he would have kissed somebody on his lower level, he'd have got, you know, pocket change.
I just didn't see the call for it. Some people say, "Oh, just a kiss don't mean nothing," but I don't
It
know what
depends
I
on
would
what you
did.
feel about kisses.
Well, I
Some
just
people
not-
think kissing is intimate.
It is intimate, and I don't. And if I'm acting in an intimate way. You know what I mean? I don't know how I would think if I would have saw any of the men that I deemed manly, the men that I respect growing up, if I saw them kiss somebody. We had an uncle that was gay. Well, not was. Ain't like he changed. He is. But at the time, he was. But he wasn't flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? We knew it. My partner be like, "Hey, man, hey, you smoke crack, man, your uncle, you do the gay one. You know, I just served him." I'm like, "All right, whatever, then." You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Your auntie just gave me some top. I ain't tell you that, though, but keep serving my uncle, and I'm going to keep popping your auntie off in a jawline. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like that time, I respected the man a certain way. If I saw my dad kiss a guy or found out some stuff, he'd be like, "That's crazy." Like, what conversation do you have with your son after you do this movie and you do that scene and he sees it?
He probably just said it's just acting.
It's just acting. Okay. So when do you stop with the "it's just acting"? Hey, take your clothes off. Just lay naked next to him. You ain't got to touch him. Just lay naked next to him. It's just for the scene. When does it stop? When does it be like, "Well, that's a bit much"?
I guess it's an individual journey. Like, whatever you're okay with, as long as you can wake up and look yourself in the mirror and be okay with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like Martin did it. I laughed. I felt like when Jamie Foxx did it, I laughed. I thought it was funny. Do I have to do that to get the laugh? I don't think I have to. Because I feel like there's a lot of cross-dressing, even in comedy. I know some transsexual, cross-dressing, gay comedians just coming through the scene and they can do it. Why you can't get somebody gay to wear that? They're totally open to it. Or is it much funnier when the masculine male dumbs himself down and embraced this feminine type of role? Is that just more funnier? I mean, why can't you get somebody who's actually embracing that in their lifestyle to do that type of thing?
But I still think it's upon the individual. Like, hey, I want the money, so I'm willing to do this. I want this, so I'm willing to do that. I don't think it has anything to do with gender specific or who's doing what. I think it's the individual choosing. You have a choice. Just like you said, for you personally, you say you ain't going to put no dress on. And that's cool. But guess what? Tommy on the fourth floor, he a comedian in his own right. He may want to put on a dress.
Actually, bruh man on the full floor.
Well,
Tommy didn't have a job.
I wasn't talking about Martin in particular, but I mean, I guess it did reference from that. But I'm just saying, I was just picking a random name. Like, this person may want to.
Okay. I mean, listen, I it's whatever. I got people around me that do things I don't particularly agree with, you know.
What if one of you have you growing in a group of comedians that you're really kind of working with and y'all kind of moving and vibing together? What if one of those dudes was like, "You know what, Duke? I'm finna put on a dress. So I got this new skit, and it's finna be hitting."
Well, I mean, I would talk to him, be like, why do you feel like that is necessary? Why do you feel like putting the dress on is going to get the laugh, the maximum laughs? You see what I'm saying? And just see where their head is at. You know what I mean? That don't mean I'm going to agree with it after we had that conversation. I probably might not want to be a part of it, but I just feel like.
But is that going to change your interact with them? Like, can they still vibe in your group that you're moving right now?
It depends. It just depends. You know, some things is intent. Some things is the nature of it. I got to understand where your mind is at. Those types of things. I don't know. I want to say no, but, you know, then again, at the end of the day, you know, it's your life. It's your world. Squirrel, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not putting it on. So that's not something that somebody have to expect for me to do. So I don't know. I really don't. We talked about that just growing up. Like, you know, a cousin, we would always say, what if one of our close ones said, "Hey, I'm gay"? And I'd be like, shit. Hey.
You already have a close one that say that.
Right.
But anyway, shout out to Ernest. We see you out there watching us. We're going to move on to the next song. I'm going to guess what this song is called. I think it's called "Protect Me From Broke" by Trap Partners.
Trap Partners, what up? We lit!
It's everybody.
trap partner, my trap partner. Hollered out, protect me from bro. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Started out with nothing out the mud. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Hollered out, protect me from bro. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. This that came from nothing, then make a way. Thinking global from a hustle started around the way. Beating up the pavement, that shit every day. Talking profit, talking payment, check talk every day. Thinking do for self, got to make a way. Moving with some air, like thinking the same way. Thinking elevation, different gameplay. Took the G road, never the strange way. Fuck he talking about, Tim Hardaway. Nigga go and get it, or you starve away. See all my partners on it, and it's underlay. I see the picture clear, I'm talking honestly. See I got all the answers, like yeah to sway. But I know this game, you got to pay to play. I eat, they eat, they eat, I eat, it's the real nigga way. Different frequencies, real nigga wave. So it's PMFB until my dying day. I hear the type, heartbeat the lion way. So it's PMFB until my dying day. I hear the type, heartbeat the lion way. Started out with nothing out the mud. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Hollered out, protect me from bro. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Started out with nothing out the mud. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Hollered out, protect me from bro. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Still posted in the jungle, willing to risk it all, nigga, just so I can bubble. I just wanna ball, nigga, that's 100 summers. Been through a lot of trouble, trying to get the trophy. Champion on the streets, that's where my nigga Meek. My dad died, I never cried, I swear this under me. 10 years old, hard cold, sweating in my sleep. Young boy never had no one to hold his hand. But I'm still on the corner trying to execute the plan. To take my family broke is the plan. To keep it from being broke, I collect cans. Now your boyfriend just set one off on your hands. And it ain't no high tickets, kiss you started out with nothing out the mud. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Hollered out, protect me from bro. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Started out with nothing out the mud. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner. Hollered out, protect me from bro. Just me and my trap partner, my trap partner.
Time felt with it.
I've been stopping for too long, had to go make a plan. The nigga running up the paper when they got some cash. Now I'm in first place, can't go back to being last. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've been stopping for too long, had to go make a plan. The nigga running up the paper when they got some cash. Now I'm in first place, can't go back to being last. Did it all cause I was hungry, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been stopping for too long, had to go make a plan. The nigga running up the paper when they got some cash. Now I'm in first place, can't go back to being last. Did it all cause I was hungry, yeah, yeah, yeah. Look in the fridge and shit that I eat. Tired of ramen noodles, I'm tryna feast. Early since a tall, I've been on my feet. 10 toes down through Southeast. Just tryna get what I want. Growing up wasn't privileged, now I got a bag. I don't know how to act, gotta stay on track. Mama told me watch my back. All eyes on me, since a nigga want change. Give me money, fuck fame. They tryna throw dirt on my name, cause I said they ain't gang. All of my niggas know what's up, one up. Then we all love, wrong with some fellas who get no fucks. We was stopping, we want all the bucks. I ain't talking Milwaukee, bitch, I'm talking about the guap. Never will a nigga stop, working till a nigga drop. Pray a nigga don't flop, overtime like pops. It's all I know, before I ain't had no dough. Now I got what I want plus more. I've been stopping for too long, had to go
I can't go back to being last. I'm a trapper, baby, I like all my money fast. With trap these shit, you know I'm all about the cash. Hell nah, don't be broke, I'm steady in my bag. I be running up on plays just like a game of tag. My mama say slow down, need for speed, you go too fast. I got 150 on the dash, I'm trying to escape my past. I wear the paint up on my face, it's just like a mask. Tattoos cover my wounds, it's just like a cast. This shit was overdue, but look, I'm here at last. Remember telling them I'ma make it, all they did was laugh. I'm a hustler, so they thought all I knew was math.
I've been starving for too long, had to go make a plan. A nigga running up the paper when they got some cash. Now I'm in first place, can't go back to being lost. Did it all cause I was hungry, yeah. I've been starving for too long, had to go make a plan. A nigga running up the paper when they got some cash. Now I'm in first place, can't go back to being lost. Did it all cause I was hungry, yeah.
Time felt with it.
All right, and we're back. That was lit. We rocking tonight, though.
Yes,
fire.
I guess it's running a little late, so y'all got to stick with me and Duke just a little bit longer.
Little bit
Just
longer.
a little bit longer. Apparently, there's traffic out in them streets.
Shout out to all the parents that whip that ass if need be. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Because we were just talking on it, and especially what we were speaking on earlier in a conversation about kids that are not disciplined. Do y'all feel like, what was different forms of discipline growing up for you, like that your mother or your elders put upon you?
So I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't get any whoopings in my years, because I was a good girl.
Okay.
I was, I followed directions, and even if I wasn't a good girl, I was a smart girl. So sometimes when you're a bad kid, you got to be smart about being bad. That way you don't get the whooping.
Right.
But don't nobody know you even deserve a whooping.
Right. I was the type of kid, if I broke something, I was the type of kid, I'm going to tell you who I was. I was sharp. If I broke something, I'm throwing the whole thing away. I'm not hiding it. Where's that vase? I don't know. You must have sold it.
You know
You
what?
had to have given it to someone.
I tried to teach, and I'm really I think I'm a bad parent in that manner, because, I try to teach my kids, something that happened, say they broke a vase.
Right.
And they'll leave it there, and I'd be like, who broke the vase? They'd be like, Mommy, I don't know. I'm like, you could have
See
threw
that?
it away.
See, that's what I'm
clean
saying.
it up, take the trash, immediately take the trash
That's what I'm
out.
talking about.
I
That's what I'm
tell
talking
them,
about.
do not make a profession about being a liar, because kids these days are the
They worse.
worst
They don't know how to lie.
liars ever.
But you know they don't know how to lie because they don't interact. You got to think about that element of us going outside and play. We knew how to interact. We knew how to find our ranking system. We knew who was who, what was what. We knew who was going to play, and we going to play tag it, or we going to play catch, get a little hunch. We going to play house. I was always the baby or the daddy. I was never the big brother. Big brother don't get no love. Baby get a little, boob action. Get a little, you know what I'm saying?
Because you got to breastfeed.
You know what I mean? So, they'd put you like, wait. I was like, oh, yeah, them goddamn little mosquito bites. That was big to me back then. You know what I'm saying? But I was 9. If she 12 with mosquito bites, come on with it. You feel me?
Oh, my goodness.
And then daddy, the stuff we did, man, it was just crazy. That's why I know you have to make sure that your kid's time is occupied with something constructive. Because if you don't want your daughter playing house with a young man like how I was.
You know what? I am so adamant about, if I have little girls over my house, I'm super astute. If it get too, what's happening?
It's
Where
too
everybody
quiet.
at? What y'all doing? Well, yeah, I'm popping out. I'm popping in, popping
Every now
out.
and then you got to smell fingers.
What y'all doing? What's happening?
Okay.
I am
Okay.
so
See? Okay.
overly astute.
I wouldn't even have them girls at my house if I had 3 boys. Sorry. Get out of here. You can't have them girls over here. Straight up.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I'll be there
for a
for you.
little while, I don't really have girls over now unless they're our family. But I used to coach cheerleading, so I used to sometimes have the little girl cheerleaders over from time to time, because maybe we have a game that their parents got to work and they can't get to, or we got a competition or something. So I used to have little girls just to make sure everybody showed up. Because, you know what I'm saying, when you're doing youth sports or youth basketball, cheerleading, football, in order to make sure all the kids show up, you got to pick them up.
Right.
Or you definitely going to have 5 in a possible. Like, you parents be like, look, I can't be there every Saturday. I got to work. I got to go to, you know what I'm saying? Or they just be tired. Oh, you know what? You got a game in Loganville? Oh, no, we can't drive that far. That's too far. Yeah, I got a game over here, over there. So you got to.
Yeah, them games be crazy. They be far out, though, so I can understand some of what they say.
Pick them up. And I was always the parent who always wanted to be at every game. So I drive the distance. Like, I need to see my child. And it's my biggest fear, even now when they're in high school, my biggest fear is for my kids to be at an away game and get hurt and I'm not there. And you doing whatever you doing, whether it's, you working or you on a date or you just relaxing at home because you just ain't feel like driving that far, and you get that call, hey, Johnny, Susan done broke her leg. Or, hey, we don't know what's wrong with your son. We had to send him to the emergency room. Or we don't know what's wrong with your daughter. We had to send him to, like, I don't want that call. I want to be there. I want to look at my child. I want to put my eyes, my hands, my feet, whatever I need to on my child and see it firsthand of what's going on so I can have the reaction that I would need. I don't feel like, and I may be biased in this, but I just don't have the mindset that people care for my children the way that I do.
Most people feel like that. My daughter mother is real serious about that. She's very, very serious about, just people watching her. But my child is allergic to the wind. Like, she's allergic to every goddamn thing, which is very, very annoying to me. But it's nothing that you can change. She's just going to grow out of it, or we're going to have to make our adjustments in our personal life, as we have done. Like, now, she's in big girl school. I have to cook now. I have to cook because she can't eat everything on the menu, on a cafeteria menu. So, my Wednesdays now is doing content. I have to take off, and I have to then now prepare her meals for the week. So, I've grown to understand the significance of making sure your kid is in the right hands. Most people are not going to go over and above to make sure that your kid is good. So,
And on that note, we're going to take a little break. We're going to play a song called Like This by our guest. We're not going to play Like This. I'm sorry.
Okay, y'all need to get it together.
All right.
Get your shit right.
I'm just trying to transition into,
shit.
We're going to play Only Business by
Only
Homie
Business.
Ha.
By who?
Homie Ha.
Homie. Who is coming up? Is there a
their
name for
name.
these new names? I don't know.
I don't know who make up the names. I just read the names.
Shit.
Let's get it.
Bro,
it's only business. Told me, bro, it's only business. Better focus on your digits. Live your life, but don't forget it. Bro, it's only entertainment. Think it's not you really brainless. Just some niggas that I came with. Come to that, we make you famous. Homie, now we really with it. Need no ground, it's only business. No emotions, this is business. But you limits, never get it. Suck a duck and spar the light. Can't be mixy with these clowns. Fuck around and lose your life. Breathe the realest in the pound. Homie, how real here to take money, let's get it. It's only entertainment, gotta hustle ambition. Dog eat dog, so you gotta be vicious. Homie, get money, I ain't chasing no bitches. School of hard knocks, so I'm down by law. Life's up and down, so we call it seesaw. Real niggas see shit, don't say what he saw. These niggas manufactured and need a recall. Real niggas back, this is real nigga rap. Heard what 50 said, nigga better get the strap. 2019, give a fake shit back. How the young boy say it all real, no cap. Probably need to purge, all depends how you view it. Whole shit thriving, you can tell from the music. Niggas got guns and they ride to the music. No face, no case, just fire when they shooting. Bro, it's only business. Told me, bro, it's only business. Better focus on your digits. Live your life, but don't forget it. Bro, it's only entertainment. Think it's not you really brainless. Just some niggas that I came with. Come to that, we make you famous. Homie, now we really with it. Need no ground, it's only business. No emotions, this is business. But you limits, never get it. Suck a duck and spar the light. Can't be mixy with these clowns. Fuck around and lose your life. Breathe the realest in the pound. Holler that fan bro told me let's go. Alphabet boys don't worry, just flow. Machine gun flow, so it came with a cooler. Supposed to kill a beat, that's really how you do you. Homie pay dues, play by rules. No matter what's the play, homie gotta be cool. Said to kill him swift, so it gotta be smooth. Not to talk down, but I'm not a rap dude. Nothing really matters, praise God, get money. Most gets killed on God, no funny. Streets real cardio, friends don't love me. Shit'll make you cold, mama, child, no dummy. Acting like your man just trying to get close. Bro, you better read or you probably get smoked. Or catch a life sitting that there, no joke. Long story short, homie, gotta stay woke. Bro, it's only business. witness told me, bro, it's only business. Better focus on your digits. Live your life, but don't forget it. Bro, it's only entertainment. Think it's not you really brainless. Just some niggas that I came with. Come to that, we make you famous. Homie, now we really with it. Need no ground, it's only business. No emotions, this is business, but you limits never get it. Sucker duck is part of life. Can't be mixy with these clowns. Fuck around and lose your life. Free the realest in the pound. Yeah. I'm back, nigga. Homie, yeah. Hey, Shabani. So young nigga like me. So young nigga like me. She wanna saw a young nigga like me. I can tell what you watching me. None of y'all niggas ain't nothing like me. You don't get a bag like this. You don't get a set like that. No, you don't grind like this. No, you wasn't like that. You don't get a hole like this. You know you ain't real like that. I know you wanna feel like this. You know you ain't real like this. I know you wanna feel like this. You know you ain't real like this. Nigga ain't talking about shit. I'm out here chain me bad, you out chain me free. Tell a bitch stop calling my phone, can't get nothing from me. Yeah, I told her that dick was good, but this dick ain't free. Run it up, run it up, run it up. You ain't gotta run that check up. Ain't that niggas in the way. Gotta tell the fuck nigga back up. Please get out of my face. So a nigga got to act up. 24 bang, bang. Fucking with the mark at the photo. Look at your bitch, all on my dick. But I ain't got time for tryna get rich, tryna get rich. Bitch like Tom Ford. Shout out my family, shout out to my bitch, I die for 'em. If you ain't my nigga, if you ain't my bitch, now I don't ride for you. She wanna saw a young nigga like me. I can tell what you watching me. None of y'all niggas ain't nothing like me. You don't get a bag like this. You don't get a set like that. No, you don't grind like this. No, you wasn't like that. You don't get a hole like this. You know you ain't real like that. I know you wanna feel like this. You know you ain't real like this. I know you wanna feel like this. You know you ain't real like this. No, you ain't real like this. Yeah, I take them bricks and flip that bitch like this. Turn the 4 to a 6, I'm the shit, bitch. Look at the car, look at the wrist, I'm the shit, bitch. I can hate that nigga from a mile away.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
That's lit.
Cash, cash, cash.
Oh, yeah, and we back.
And we're back, and we got QV,
What up, homie?
Drip Squad.
How you doing?
What is with the Drip Squad?
Well, truth be told, we started the whole lingo about the drip in California in the Bay. And drip really meant something.
Shout out Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't from Cali. I lived out there for like 2 years, so a lot of my peoples are from there. But yeah, we started drip out there in the Bay Area, man. And, the drip actually meant something. It meant, you know what I'm saying, dreamers really inspire people.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's what it was. So, and then I ended up doing some prison time, and I got back, and everybody in Atlanta was talking about drip this, drip that, drip this, drip that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's cool. We salute everybody who, hopped on aboard with the whole drip situation. But drip squad is something we started in California. So.
Got it. You better stake your claim and claim your stake. He said, "Look, drip is what we was about."
Yeah.
Shout out to all y'all who out here pushing it.
It meant clothes and all that too. But I mean, at the end of the day, the main thing it meant was dreamers really inspire people, and that's what we wanted to do. So at first we was called Water Boys. You feel me? So we turned Water Boys to drip, and that's how we got drip, and everybody started using.
Where do Water Boys come from?
I mean, we dripping. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like we been dripping, but at first we called it Water Boys. You feel what I'm saying? So Water
Got
Boys
it.
we just turned it to the drip. You know what I mean? So it's been there ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Willie Joe over there too, at Generation Now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the one who first presented it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And Willie Joe is the A&R over there at Drama's label, Generation Now. Shout out to Drama too. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing music overall?
Ever since I was like 15, I've been doing it for a while.
And so how old are you now?
I just turned 30.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any other passions outside of music?
Yeah, I play sports, but that really wasn't my passion. Honestly, music has been my passion forever. I've been writing and doing music. At 15, I moved out of my mama's house and moved to Florida, and started working with Usher. You know what I mean? I was AJ Alexander was at the time was managing Usher, so we had the same management. So I ended up going out there. He was my guardian, and I ain't been back home ever since. You feel what I'm saying? So I had been doing it forever,
Right.
for real.
Yeah, okay. Now, was it rapping or was it singing? Or
R&B, I do R&B. I got signed up as an R&B artist, but I do know how to rap.
Right.
But the whole thing about me and doing R&B is I didn't want to sound like everybody else. Like, I didn't want my content to be like everybody else because at the end of the day, I didn't grow up in a, loving type situation. So love songs and all that wasn't.
It wasn't something that you could relate to.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? For real. So I just used my talent for things I was actually going through and things that people around me was going through. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I could just sing. So I sung it instead of rapping. I sung it.
Yeah. At first, I used to kind of critique, because now you have singers who rapping, you got rappers who singing. And it's like, I kind of get it. Like, you can get a guy from an environment who can hold a note.
Yeah.
And he's from an environment that may have crack around it and may have heroin and dope around it.
Yeah.
But he can hold a note and he can talk about the love, emotion he feels for this chick. Versus, he just choose to opt out of saying, the gun I hold, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about old girl that got my eye. I ain't put deodorant on and put my cologne on until I liked her.
Right.
So you can speak to that aspect. So it's like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. At one point, you had
so
to
many
be.
stories to tell. You don't have to just tell just one.
And it's not even about this, because at the end of the day, like, everybody done heard the stories of everybody come from the hood, this, that, and that.
Right.
It's just how you show your story. It's how you tell your story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just how you do it. So I chose to do it that way. Honestly.
That's good stuff, though, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
good
I got a
stuff.
question. You mentioned that you moved out at 15, and you said you went to, was it Cali?
No, Miami.
Miami, and then you said someone else had to be your guardian. So do you have children?
AJ Alexander, yeah. I have 3.
Okay, so would you, if they had the same passion of music and everything, would you let them go?
Yeah, but see, my mom didn't want me to go. You feel me? She didn't want me to go. Like, everybody wanted me to play football. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, everybody wanted me to do that. I was actually good at it. I was 3rd in my division. So, everybody wanted me to play, but that's not what I wanted to do. So when she saw that's really what I wanted to do, that I would define her and move out of her house, she was like, I ain't got no choice but to rock with you. You feel me?
So you would just, because they was like, look, Dad, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to be this. Whether it's music or say like, with gymnasts, you know what I'm saying? They usually have to go to their trainers, and it's like in some weird count.
Yeah, shout out my daughter Ayana.
That's Jump Free Ohio.
Yeah, that's what she in, gymnastics, my daughter. So, I mean, I support anything my kids want to do. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, like, that's where it come from. You know what I'm saying? They want to get that acceptance from the parents first. That's what they see first. You know what I'm saying?
Now, with that situation, because we actually mentioned that before, my daughter's in gymnastics.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter, by the way?
My daughter's 8.
She's 8. My daughter's just 5.
Okay.
So you probably have to hit to the point where she's at a point where now you have to make a decision if you're going to allow your kid to live with someone else and put their safety in that person's hands. Would you go and do that, or would you say, nah, I need my lady to go, I need my mother to go, I need somebody to go?
I think dealing with a female, she would definitely have family around if it's not me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's around, because it's a female. So, females is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like females should have that male protection around them of who they know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or just having an overseer that come with love.
Yeah.
Like I told my mother, if my daughter gets to that point, you're going to have to retire early. Or she's not going to be able to do it. That's going to be on y'all.
I've already volunteered.
She's already
for that
volunteered.
role.
So, I'm not sending my daughter with somebody and just entrusting that this person's going to make sure every aspect of her.
Yeah.
See, they just there to make sure that she excels in that aspect of her life. But there's so many other elements that makes up who she is.
True.
I need you to make sure that you safeguard all of that.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what my thing is. And even with your boys,
You can't just go throw your boys and just expand because he got a third leg. He's man enough and he's emotionally strong enough to withstand. No, kids nowadays are not as emotionally strong as people once were.
I think okay, you know, and with that too, I think it depends on you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know your character. You know who you are. So your kids come from you. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like my son is just like me. You feel me? So like with that being said, like you got to know who your kids is too. So my son, like yeah, I would definitely trust and. My son said, you know what, Dad, I want to, you know, at 15, you know, I want to go move here and do this and do that. I would let him do that because at the end of the day, I trust my son enough to know what he would and would not do, and I know he'll be straight. You feel what I'm saying? Because he just like your daddy, for real, for real.
Yeah, my mom's wasn't having it. I think them old people back in them days, they were just on safe mode. Like everything they did was on the safe mode.
See,
like
well, definitely out here because at the time, there was a lot of kid kidnappings that was going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely, you know, definitely, that was a lot of that going on. But, you know, I
don't think we operate in that as much now. Like we don't operate.
No, Georgia is still one
well,
of the top five on sex trafficking.
Well, I'm just saying, but parents
don't
operate in the safe mode. They be like, nah, go and do that.
Yeah.
Like you push your kids, you ain't going safe. They could easily catch a concussion or catch a spinal injury or anything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But you're not going safe. God forbid. You know what I mean? But you know, you like, nah, son, I'm here for you. I'm gonna pray for you. One thing. Number two, I'm gonna provide for you. Therefore, you can have an environment where you can grow and thrive in that area.
See, I mean, you know what? Some people
parents didn't do that back then.
But true. But see, with some kids, it's some things you could tell them, and it's something they got to go through themselves. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's some things you can't teach them. They got to go through themselves. See, I was one of those kids where I had to go through it myself. I couldn't. You telling me that, like telling me the do's and the don'ts and what can happen if you go out. I had to see for myself. I had to see, you know what I'm saying?
It was similar. I was kind of similar, you know what I mean? I listened, I took heed, but I think for me, man, it was just because I started working early, and that's another thing parents got to understand. If your kid starts to work early, he's going to develop a sense of independence sooner than he needs to or she needs to.
Of course.
If that kid has to do things for himself.
That's another thing, too. You're right.
That honestly, that responsibility is not really to that kid.
That's what you're right.
Even though that's his or her things, that's really on the guardian.
You're right.
But the guardian is lacking the resources or the know-how.
Yeah, I had to get a hustle at 13.
If you got to start doing that move like an adult, and now you putting up 25, 30 hours a day, a week like an adult, it's going to be hard to come to that kid and be like, hey, let me tell you what you about to do. No, you're like, man, you get that. I got to go work tomorrow. I close my door. I got to go to school, then I got to go to work. I had 2 shifts.
Listen, you know, yeah, for real.
That's what happens. And I think that's what happened with me, and my mother just didn't understand it.
You know, ironically, I had a similar conversation with my kids. Me and their dad had a conversation in the sense of basically they don't have a job, but my oldest wants one. So we told him, we were like, okay, you see all this stuff that y'all have, y'all shoes, y'all clothes and everything, that's mine. It's my stuff. Even if you get a job and you got money in your pocket, that's still mine. So we've already embedded in their mind, like, whatever you do, it don't matter until you are out of my house and 18. Everything you own, do, move, breathe is mine. Until I can no longer get locked up for the things that you do, everything is mine.
I think as a kid though, like it's not with a kid they're not thinking like that. Like if you 13 years old, you got to hustle, and then later on, your mom or your dad trying to tell you looking at them like you either want me to learn independence or you don't. After you done installed it in them, that's what they're gonna go with. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go with that. Right. It's no in between. It's like either this or that.
Facts.
You either want me as a child's brain. Like I think adults too.
Yeah, they straddle the fence.
They do too much with trying to put so much on a child. You gotta understand it's still a child. It's a kid. They don't understand what you know now.
But guess what? On the flip of it, if you also have a kid and the element that you have them in, and the circumstance that is their reality, now you have a kid that the walls is thin. He hearing you cry about the money.
Exactly.
I was just trying to go to work to help my mom and my dad.
Exactly.
Because clearly, when I came home, the lights was off, and it ain't getting cut on until I came home the next day after school.
Yeah, so let me tell you my situation.
Like, shit, like, oh, y'all need help in here.
Yeah, exactly. You need some help. Now, you need some help.
I'm going to move like the young man in me, like I'm seeing my dad do, I see my uncles do. I just want to contribute to the family.
Yeah.
So you have to create, like you're doing and your kid's father's doing. Y'all creating an environment where all you got to do is do your job as being a kid.
Right.
Go to school. Go in and involve yourself with the things that you want to be indulging in, and that's it. You ain't got to worry about what I'm worried about. I'm gonna make sure that you don't have to worry or even expose that to you. But that wasn't the reality coming from a certain environment.
See, that's the thing with parents too. Like you don't want your kids to go, but when you crying at night, you know what I'm saying?
They know that.
And you think I ain't hear my mama crying?
They know that.
You know what I'm saying? Like you think I ain't hear my mama on her knees at night crying?
My mama cried for $10.
Like no cap. Like so.
Like for real.
No,
like,
like,
it sounds funny, but she really cried
but at
because
the
they didn't
time
want to
it's
give her
not
$10. They wanted to give her $9.25. And I'm just like, in my mind, like $10 ain't no money. I'm like 13. I remember going to school. I'm like, this ain't no money. I was like 14 years old. Like that's not no money.
So imagine you having a hustle at 13 years old. You sleep, and your stepfather come in your room while you sleep, think you sleep, and steal your money. Like that's how crazy. You feel what I'm saying? So when you seeing stuff like that, yo, like you ain't got no choice but to go ahead
and telling you must have lost it. And you like, nah, I know I'm 14.
Ain't no cap. Like,
but I know I count my money because as a young man, you account it 7 times. You be like, all right, yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah. I see it stacking. And then all of a sudden you lose. You're like, bro, now you go into your mind. You're like, damn, okay. Now I don't be doing no checks and balances, but I know what I spent and I know what I didn't spend.
Yeah.
I don't have no shoes to show for it. And back then I ain't had no Jabos to show for it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no Levi's, no dungarees, nothing to show for that little 75. Where that money at?
Exactly.
Now, fortunately for me, I didn't have that issue. My dad was never asking me for anything. You see what I'm saying? But I knew what needed to be done. And that was some of the reason why the jobs I took. I took jobs at either a grocery store because I was like, I can bring groceries home. Or I took jobs at a fast food restaurant because I was like, I can bring food home.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That was just because I wanted to contribute to the family because I saw that there was a lack somewhere in there. You see what I'm saying? And I think that is what you're making sure your kids don't have to feel. So they probably want money. They want a job so they can have their own independent money. So they can just spend it and fuck it off how they want. Because they can't do yours like that. Because when you give it to them, it's allotted for a certain something.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you're making sure that they don't have to experience that. And that feeling, when you got a certain type of boy, even when a boy go out and sells drugs, if his mind is right and his intentions is pure, he's doing it for the best reasons.
I do want to say a little shout out for my son. He came and presented me with the cutest idea. And I'm saying cute because I'm a mom. But so I do a thing with them. It's called Kids Day. The date is set on the average day of their birthday. And so every day around the same year, we have Kids Day, and it's just me, them, having a good time, just enjoying life as it is. So he positioned me. He said, yo, Mom, I know you do Kids Day. I want to do Bros Day. So he got his little coins, and he's like, Mom, how much does it cost to go to the movies? How much is popcorn? How much is this? So he's counting out his little coins because he wants him and only his brothers to go out and have their own bro days. He was like, look, we don't really bond. We always arguing and fighting. I want to start a moment where we can just bond as brothers.
What's his name?
His name is Amir.
Shout out to Amir.
Yeah,
shout out.
Yeah, that's
the
powerful
cutest
right
thing
there.
Yeah.
That's the oldest one, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was so cute. And so I was so proud of him just as a mom. And I was like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
you know
lit.
those moments as a parent where you be like, I'm messing up. But then there's the little moments where you're like, I'm doing something.
Like my daughter, she went to her first day of school was Monday. So come after school, she was done. I was like, so what do you think? She was like, first thing, I can't call her baby no more. She's a big girl. I was like,
She
oh,
is
cool.
a big girl.
She had a little teddy bear thing, little bunny thing that she been having since she got here. I so-called lost it. Don't tell her, but I got it in the bag. I'm gonna hold it. I ain't lose it. But since you're a big girl, I'm gonna make you stand on it, right? Since you're gonna keep telling me I'm a big girl, you can't be my baby no more. You gotta stand on that. So after her first day, I'm thinking she's gonna be exhausted. I'm thinking that this kindergarten really gave her the business. She came up, she was like, Dad, can I go back tomorrow? I was like, oh, you sure hell can. So I was excited that she just embraced it. Like
Right.
she don't want, but ever since day one, my daughter never wanted to be the baby. She just, as a kid, you want the nurturing feeling of your mother, and when you're hungry, you want to be fed. But she always wanted to be older and hang out with her older cousins and stuff like that. So I'm thankful, like you said, it was just a happy moment to know that my child didn't cry the whole day. And her mother talked to the teacher, and she was like, oh, she was successful, and she was a great kid, and seemed like she's gonna have a good kindergarten experience. So that's awesome.
That's what's up.
I do have to ask you before we have to close up shop. One thing is, what are there any specific artists that you want to work with, like as your career keeps developing and growing and moving and pushing forward?
Man, I ain't gonna say no particular ones. Just any ones that really want to work with me, I work with them. I mean, I'm not really picky on that. It's not like I said. I ain't got no favorites. I like a lot of artists.
Let me ask you this. Along with that, do you fancy independent artists?
Yeah, I do.
You link with a lot, or do you want to get that certain name to sell
I
that
mean,
project?
I mean, to be honest with you, I would go to the independent artist before I go to like any major artist, and the reason why is because it's a new sound. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a part of a new sound. So
Right.
if I can be a part of a new sound by dealing with an underground artist, I'm with that all day.
That's
All
good
right,
shit.
underground artists, y'all know y'all sending y'all music in. Y'all want to collab?
Right.
Hit us up so y'all can connect.
Yeah.
Also, let the people know.
Yeah, man.
what
So
you got
y'all,
going
you know,
on.
I just did this movie, man. Shout out to Philly Redface, Formula Gang over there. We just shot this movie called No. We just did the private screening for that yesterday, and it's dropping, I think, on the 9th of September.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's called No. So we got that. I'm doing my maxi single release. We should be doing that in a couple of weeks. I got like a lot of things in the making. 2 other movies that I'm about to work on. Shout out Diamond, Mark Diamond. So we just and Tip. So we just working. You know what I mean? For real.
So if we want to follow you and see what you got moving on,
Everything Drill Squad QV.
Facebook, Twitter,
Drill Squad
Instagram.
QV.
And can we put a request in that anytime you got some hot shit, man, you could just drop it off? You got the email?
Yeah, for sure.
Just hit us with it.
Yeah,
I won't be hitting you trying to request
No,
some
no,
shit.
no.
I don't want to see you be like, yo, link new shit in the bio, hit the link, and then we don't got it.
Don't hit it with the Spotify.
You feel what I'm saying?
Download.
Because all day today, man, today was really Marketing Monday, and I was just promoting and reaching. I'm talking about, man, I had stuff back to April 1st that I didn't get to. You know what I mean? And, so you probably got a shit list.
I'm so irritated with you right now.
I was working. I'm talking about with the moment I got up, I called my daughter after she got to school at 7:10. I went straight to DMs and Facebook Messenger and just connected with them people and, connected and dot with that. Again, let them know where they can find you at on social media.
Drill Squad QV. Yeah, anything. Any social media, man. Anything y'all trying to look up on your boy, man. QV. Drill Squad QV.
Well, that's Drill Squad QV.
All right. Once again, thank you everybody for
appreciate
tuning in.
y'all for having me,
Shout
too.
out to
Thank you.
Drip Squad
Yep.
QV for coming through the building.
Yep.
Always, everybody, remember today, tomorrow, and always stay living in today's time because
we lit. We out there, bitch.
It's lit. Yeah, hey, yeah, it's lit, and like it ain't lit. L-I-T-T, and like it ain't lit. Yeah, it's lit, and like it ain't lit. L-I-T-T, and like it ain't lit. Yeah, we lit, 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 yeah, we lit. It's lit. Cut the radio up, grab the phone when the live on. This the latest station in the nation, get your mind blown. Monday from 9/11, causing hectic 9/11. You ain't heard about from word of mouth. Come here, let me tell you. Got Tony on the mic, good celebrity at ATL, and we got Duke plus my dog Omar as well. It's a lituation every time you cut the station on. It's the lit.